Welcome to San Recap. Today I'm going to explain a 2008 action fantasy movie titled Hancock. Before proceeding, please make sure to give this video a thumbs up, comment on what your favorite part was, and subscribe to the channel. The story begins with a Superman named John Hancock, or Will Smith. He lives his life like a bum, but he has a superhuman powers. A little boy wakes him up and points to TV.
Oh gosh, again bad boys.
Alright.
Let's to fly.
Flying to the intruder's car, he knocks a couple of birds and almost crashes into a plane. Crazy Will Smith. Unfortunately, due to his constant drunkenness and cynical attitude, he causes millions of dollars in property damage. Not long after, Superman rips off the roof of the car and gets inside.
Let's drink, boys.
But they refuse to drink with him. Okay, no problem, bad boys. Then he decides to offer them a little flight. When he tackles a problem, he makes an even worse mess. Superman Hancock in his heroic action makes a big loss because he also destroys police cars and public facilities. Meanwhile, a man named Ray Embry works as a public relations specialist in a private company. He offers a business concept to the board of directors, but sadly the concept is not approved by them. He unsuccessfully leaves a meeting and becomes trapped on a railroad track where he is facing collision with an oncoming freight train. But Hancock suddenly appears and saves Ray's life. The train rams him, but like nothing happened, he walks away without a scratch. The only problem is that all the train cars derail in the process, causing a lot of damage once again. As usual, the citizens immediately criticize him, except for Ray, who is very thankful to him for saving him life. Hancock takes him home. Ray introduces him to his family. Arriving there, Ray is greeted by his wife, Mary, and his son Aaron. From now, it can be seen that Mary is one of the people who does not like Hancock as a superhero. On the other hand, Aaron is a fan of him. From all the Los Angeles residents, Ray is the only one who believes that Hancock has a good side in him. That way, he can turn into a superhero that people love by improving his public image. The next day, he flies to his house, and as usual he destroys the road. Ray encourages him to admit all the mistakes he has made so far. He also tells him to grant the wishes of the residents all this time. Namely, the residents want him to be imprisoned for all the losses he has made, until Los Angeles needs him properly. At first, he is reluctant, but in the end he agrees with Ray. When he arrives at the place, a problem immediately appears along with another, but a little later.
I'm really crazy, dude.
Later, Hancock is visited by Ray, who knows about the mess that he caused earlier, encouraging him to be patient. He is also visited by Mary with her son, who bring him homemade spaghetti. Since Hancock was in prison, Los Angeles's crime rate rises. The climax is when there is a bank robbery, where the criminals carry a lot of weapons and explosives. A little later, with a new costume from Ray, Hancock is released from prison. The officer tells him the details: 4 bad guys, 8 hostages, and a pinned-down officer. He reaches the wounded officer, and using the car as a shield, he gets her out safely and decides to visit the bad guys. Hancock starts picking them out one by one. People thank him for a job well done. Ray is very proud. Suddenly everyone wants a photo with Superman. He has dinner with Ray and Mary, to whom he tells about his apparent immortality and his amnesia from 80 years ago, also how no one ever came to find him. Back at home, Hancock puts the drunken Ray to bed. He then goes downstairs and meets Mary in the kitchen. Mary puts her hand on his, and that's cue for some infidelity to happen. Smith, get ready. Superman is very surprised not to think that Mary is a superwoman and has the same superpowers as him. What the? In the morning, Ray is hungover and notices the damages caused to the house. Mary blames it on Hancock sneezing. After a while, Hancock comes to Mary's house again. He then does some tests on Mary because he is still curious about what happened last night. Because of it, he has many questions for her and tells her to come to his residence. After a while arriving there, she claims that actually she is his little sister and they have lived for 3,000 years. She explains him that they are the last descendants of their species. Mary does not tell Hancock the whole truth, and Hancock heads off to tell Ray about the conversation. Mary, who does not want Ray to know about it, chases after him. The two of them incite a violent battle across the city, until Ray quietly witnesses the fight from a building. After the fight, Ray returns home. At the same time, Hancock and Mary also arrives there. Mary explains the truth. She admits that Hancock is actually her husband from the past, but that she chose to quietly leave him once he had lost his memories about them. Later, when Hancock is at the liquor store, he stops a robbery, but unfortunately the criminals are able to shoot him in the body, causing him to be hospitalized. When he arrives at the hospital, Mary approaches him and continues her explanation that their species has a weakness. That is, if they are close or have feelings for each other, then the superpowers possessed by them will slowly disappear for a moment, becoming mortals. Meanwhile, the bad guys arrive at the hospital with several other criminals, which Hancock had encountered during his imprisonment. Mary is shot as she tries to defend Hancock, who manages to stop the two men with his bed. One by one, Hancock kills them. But the Hook tries to finish Hancock off by shooting him many times. Suddenly Ray comes to the rescue and now turns him into a double hook. While Mary is dying, Hancock uses the last of his strength to flee from the hospital, so she can heal through her powers. The further he goes, the more promising it looks, until he manages to bolt away and Mary wakes up. A month later, Ray and his family suddenly receive a call from Hancock, who is now in New York. He reveals that he has imprinted the moon's surface with Ray's All Heart marketing logo, which was previously rejected by his directors.